Hi, I'm Leslie Palma, Communications Director for Priests for Life, and this is Pro-Life Newsbreak for Friday, May 8th. All eyes are on the Supreme Court to see if the abortion drug Mifepristone will continue to be prescribed online and sent through the mail. In the most important case since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, Louisiana has sued for the reinstatement of restrictions that were loosened during the Biden administration, meaning that a prescription for the deadly drug would have to come from a doctor, not a website, and be picked up personally at a pharmacy rather than being sent by mail. The lawsuit, Louisiana versus FDA, sought an immediate block on the mail-order pills, but a federal district court denied that request. The case was appealed to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and last Friday night, that court ordered the immediate end to mail-order abortion while the lawsuit continued. Two drug companies that make only Mifepristone appealed to the Supreme Court on Saturday, and on Monday, Justice Samuel Alito stayed the order for 1 week. That allowed online prescribing and mail delivery to resume until this coming Monday, unless the court acts before that. The Supreme Court can block mail-order sales or allow them to take place until the case is decided. If the court decides to block mail distribution, women in states with laws protecting babies from abortion will not be able to get the pills without having to travel out of state. Certainly some lives will be saved. But abortion profiteers, proving once again that baby killing is much more important than women's health, are once again promoting the idea of abortion using just the second drug in a chemical abortion, Mifepristone. Because it is used for a variety of things, including treating ulcers and managing postpartum bleeding, it will continue to be available no matter what happens with Mifepristone. Make no mistake, a Mifepristone-only abortion is not safe, which abortion advocates admit. In a story in pro-abortion Mother Jones magazine this week, we learned that, quote, abortion advocates are scrambling to switch to a Mifepristone-only regimen if necessary, educating patients about what to expect. The side effects may be harsher. And spreading the word about medical hotlines, legal resources, and support networks so that women don't put themselves at unnecessary risk. Educating medical providers unfamiliar with the drug is also critical. The Planned Parenthood website has already posted instructions for a Mifepristone-only abortion, proving once again that pro-choice is a lie because abortion advocates don't care if mothers die, as long as their babies die too. Republican state legislators in Missouri are working to pass the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act before the legislative session ends next week. The bill, sponsored by State Senator Brad Hudson, says that anyone who knowingly performs or attempts to perform an overt act that kills a child born alive can be charged with first-degree murder. The bill passed the Senate Wednesday and could be heard in the House as early as Monday. A retired Baptist pastor on Thursday was convicted of preaching near an abortion business in Northern Ireland. 78-year-old Clive Johnston was found guilty of violating the country's buffer zone laws, even though his open-air service did not even include one mention of abortion. Judge Peter King acknowledged that Johnston made no reference to abortion, but ruled that the pastor intended for his message to influence listeners, directly or indirectly, to reject abortion, and that he had deliberately tested the buffer zone. This is a dark day for Christian freedom, Johnston said after the verdict, which included a fine of $600. There shouldn't be any public spaces in Northern Ireland where you can be prosecuted and convicted simply for preaching the gospel. And finally, White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt announced the birth of her daughter Viviana, born on May 4th. She is perfect and healthy, and her big brother is joyfully adjusting to life with his new baby sister. We are enjoying every moment in our blissful newborn bubble, Leavitt wrote in a social media post. Leavitt and her husband Nicholas Riccio are also parents to Nicholas, born in July 2024. That's some of what's making news this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Leslie Palma for Priests for Life, asking you to remember always that life is the only choice.